lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan.
And Manny.
Back with another issue of New Mutants, the Rob Liefeld run. Louis Simonson on script, Hilary Barta on inks. I keep forgetting to mention that sometimes when we're doing it. Hilary Barta is not a name I associate with Rob Liefeld in terms of his inkers. I think he definitely is at his best when he inks himself. I'd love to have seen him ink himself back then. Like it would have. And this is a cover that's all him. Yeah. I don't think he has anybody inking him. Or I mean, at least it's I don't know, it's not. Let's skip ahead. Whatever. Yeah, I don't think it's credited anywhere, so I'm gonna go with this is all Liefeld.
Yeah, even the corner box art looks like it's Liefeld.
What's your corner box art?
I have the same issue.
Oh, you mean at the top? Oh yeah, I was looking at the bottom, but yeah, you're right. The top is him.
Yeah, the bottom looks. I literally have the same issue.
I miss this too.
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite period.
I'm gonna say it again. My favorite logo, and I love the corner box art. Remember in the early 2000s, they brought corner box art back
for like a brief period. Yeah.
What a great time! And you know what I also noticed? I mean, has nothing to do with this comic. Those comic books are shorter. Did you notice that? Have you ever put one up against like from that period up against ones from now? They're a little bit shorter. They're not as tall.
No, I'll have to try that. I really haven't,
Yeah, go check it out because I was doing it when I was bagging and boarding some I don't know. I love the Spider-Girl book from Ron Frenz and Tom DeFalco.
Oh, dude, I love that too, and I need to get those again. I lost them over the years, but I used to love that title.
I'm happy to hear it because we'll do an episode about it.
Fucking great, right?
But yeah, anyways, so whatever. Let's talk New Mutants. Another great cover. This is Liefeld doing it by himself. Look at that fucking money shot right there with Cable, dude.
It's straight that's straight out of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, action movie like playbook, man.
That's Arnold right there, dude. Flamethrower.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Like the bullet chain, the bullet belts, like.
And as they called him in last issue, Mexican-born Rictor on the cover.
That's right. Yeah.
We got Boom Boom, Sunspot, and Wolverine again with the money shot, dude. This is such a great cover. Another cover that I would love this on a shirt. Yes. And I'm going to try to make this happen. I'm going to probably make a little bootleg shirt for myself if I do.
It's a good idea. I've been thinking of that too. There's a place nearby here that I've done it before with other shirts. Like I made a cool Wu-Tang shirt that's lasted a long time, and I paid like $12 for it. So
yeah,
I should set aside some covers.
Look at that, dude. When I flipped this yesterday, because I think that during this read-through that we're doing, there's some issues that I didn't read because I've never read this in trade. Or maybe I did at one point. I'm not sure, not entirely sure, but there's a huge chunk that I've never read. This was one of those issues. So when we decided to do the read-through, I bought whatever issues I was missing. I love this shot of Wolverine jumping at Cable from the top of the panel, and Cable, like we get the back shot of Cable where he's just looking up at Wolverine. So good.
It's an awesome image, man, and like again, opening with like a big one-page spread. That's like you said, this is a 2-issue arc within the arc that's ending the series. So it makes sense to mirror like the structure like that, like open both issues with a dynamic image like that. And I even think when you turn the page, I think the other issue was similar in that respect.
This, dude, is another shirt that I would like. I don't think I could scan this image in properly
because of the fold in the middle.
Because of the fold in the middle. But look at that. This is probably one of my favorite spreads that Rob's ever done.
The weight and like the energy coming off of the page is I mean, you feel that fight. You feel like the punches and like the sort of like, it's like watching an action movie. I keep saying that, but like the 90s action movie influence on this title like cannot be like stressed enough, man.
I know, but you have to think about like what is it, late 80s, early 90s? Yeah, like that was the film industry was so dominated by action heroes, so like obviously
that's when action movies really took off, as a genre, and sort of the genre that we knew of action movies was sort of, a lot of it came from the 70s, like Bullet and all these old movies, but like the action movies that you and I grew up with that defined the genre going forward were at this time. And I think Rob is really consciously trying to bring that to the comic to the point where like this issue's title is Lethal Weapons, which is an homage to one of the biggest and greatest action movie franchises ever,
I could stare at this fucking double page about it forever. I love it so much. Yeah. Turn the book back around. Oh my god, look at this. I love the way Cable's bent over
And Wolverine too, like getting tossed into the barrels and like the crates over there.
The
I
great
love
shot
that panel
too.
at the bottom with the eyes too.
Yeah.
I love the way Rob draws eyes too, man. There's so many little things about his art that I like. You know,
And I,
we talk about the dynamic stuff, but like he's really cool at like the little details too. Like
you know what else I noticed? Look at that. The snacked. Remember we talked about that in Batter Blood?
something other than Snick, which is like, I mean, I love it, but it's
When
like
the claws get retracted?
yes,
That's funny. I didn't even pick that up when I was reading this last night, but
it's a cool detail because like they probably would make a different sound slightly when they come out, you know?
yeah, and I thought, and I didn't realize like when I was reading Batter Blood that he had done it before, because that's obviously Rob drawing that. So that's pretty cool. And I love the dialogue with Wolverine. He's like, not bad. Use my momentum against me, but don't get cocky, bub, because I won't even need my claws.
And then it's just a straight up fist fight here. Yeah.
You know what else I love? I love when artists draw Wolverine the way he's supposed to be. And when I say that, I mean by size. He is short. He is supposed to be shorter than people. He's not tall. He's not Hugh Jackman. He's not 6 foot something, dude. And
he's like 5'3" or something like that. Five, you know?
And getting to see the scale of like Wolverine against Cable and making Cable look noticeably larger than him is fucking, it's just so good, dude. I love this stuff so much. These like shots, like look at like how close up you are. You're like in their face in the fight. Bub, bad move, Bub, you've insulted me. I love when Wolverine talks. He doesn't talk like that anymore either. They don't do the Bub at all.
No, Bob. No, I'm the best at what I do, and you know, like that '90s Wolverine was my favorite, man.
So we got the New Mutants. They're trapped by the Mutant Liberation Front, right? They are part of the Mutant Liberation Front.
Yes,
they're the Madripoor chapter, I guess, if you want.
Dragoness, which I don't remember seeing again after this.
I don't either. So look, she's fucking she's laying some lips on him, dude, on Cannonball.
Yeah, dude.
We get this little interaction between him and Boom Boom. And then what do you know?
Mean, what do you know, dude? Hey, man, A+ for Cannonball getting kissed by 2 women in 2 pages, you know?
And you can see like she's mad because like he manipulated Dragoness to kiss him, right? But then she's like, oh man, that creep. And I took the bait, but I'm glad I did. I bet he is too. So fun. It's so fun. Again, we've talked about this like in most of the New Mutants issues about the inner dialogue. Actually, not just these issues, but when you and I have talked old 90s comics, like how much I miss that kind of stuff. I'd rather read it that way than in the captions above. And then we get back to Wolverine and Cable. Funny. Another great shot. Cable is not even flinching as Wolverine is lunging himself.
He's just waiting for the right moment to punch him, man. And I love the speed lines in the back, like very manga influenced. That profile of Wolverine is cool. The way his mask, like, you know, the fins on it. I love how exaggerated he draws the fins. You might as well go fucking all in when you're gonna draw Wolverine, you know. And
I'm trying to think like how high up that would be, like off my head. Like walking through doorways, it's like you have to like lower your head and shit.
But it looks cool as fuck.
It does look cool on the comics page. I don't know how practical it would be in real life, but oh, look at that. Another great ad. Captain Planet. Sometimes I forget about this cartoon, but I watched it a lot as a kid. Then we look at that. See this. This is what I'm talking about. Look at how tiny he looks compared to Cable right there.
Because Cable to me seems like he'd be a huge dude, man. Like a 6'5", like Schwarzenegger built, you know, like.
And what's funny too is like usually at this point the fighting has stopped, right? Like they're like, okay, we're on the same side. We're not against each other. But this fighting has boiled over from the issue before. We're about halfway through this, and they're still like adversarial against each other. They're not coming together to do what needs to get done.
And can you imagine, man, you're Rob Liefeld, like you've been on this title less than a year. You got one of your passionate creations fighting Wolverine. I mean, he must have been on cloud 9.
Oh yeah.
Shit, you know?
I love this too. We don't, like you don't have Wolverine smoking anymore. It gets pissed because his fucking cigar's wet.
I do miss the cigar smoking Wolverine, man. We'll probably never get that again, but
I love this. Sound disappointed, kid? You really that eager to play shish kebab? Yeah, this is some funny stuff, dude.
It was a nice cigar. The cigar thing is also like an Arnold thing because I just watched the Arnold documentary on Netflix. And
I've been wanting to watch that. Is it good?
It's really good. I'm an Arnold fan, but whether you are or not, it's a really good documentary, and I highly recommend it to anybody out there listening. Arnold is known for smoking stogies, and like it's talked about in the documentary. So whenever I see this in the comics, I'm like, all of that to me is something that Rob is pulling from, because he's a huge pop culture junkie like we are. I mean, just listen to his podcast. He does episodes on years where he talks about all the pop culture of the year, and so he's a student of pop culture, and he brings all of that into his stories.
Oh
The
yeah.
action movies, like the trends of the time. Like he really brought this title out of like some kind of like weird like nebula area where it was kind of stuck in the past, and like jetted it forward into like the 90s, man.
I know he did it so drastically too, and so fast.
So fast, and like it was it was such a hit. It's like one of those things where like all the components came together at the perfect time to create this, Like
So
we
we
didn't
got,
know it at the time, but we were reading a paradigm shift in the comic industry, and
yeah,
it's happening in these pages.
yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about, like looking back,
Yeah,
because at this point, this is about 33 years ago. This book,
and look at this, dude. Some of this shit is more exciting than shit being done now.
and I love this. Like we got I'll call them the B team, like because the group's separated, they're split in half. We
Yeah,
got Sunfire, Boom Boom, Cannonball. They're making their escape. Got Cannonball and Warlock busting through right here. I love that, dude. I just love that. You're right. The way he draws Warlock is fucking crazy. Oh, yes, dude. And then this Sunfire, because again, like he's ruthless. I think he kills, right? I'm pretty sure he's a character that will murder. He's like, I'll ignite my hand, you will burn, and like he's gonna like melt his face off, and then boom. I love this. Like they're on the roof and they're trying to be they're trying to be stealthy as they break in. That Cerebro's like registering mutants below, and Cable says ours. He's like, won't know till we look. And jumps through. He's like, you insane? What happened to stealth? He's like, you wanted in, bub, you're in.
another great Wolverine image too, man. I love the shards of glass everywhere.
And now everybody's coming together. Got Cable against Strife.
You notice how like as the action is getting like amped up, like he's using more and more panels, like
Yeah.
speed up the feel of the scene.
Yeah, to
Like
really show how much is going on.
right, exactly. It's just like, to me, like this is like the fast edited action gunfight scene in the movie.
Another great.
Love that image.
Yeah.
Love that image of Strife like coming up on Cable in the back, and then Cable just punching the
That
fuck
fucking
out of
punch
him.
up. Yeah. I
And you
love
see like
too when they
blood
do
coming.
this, when they have them in like the almost like a shadow where they're just one
Yeah.
solid color. I love when they
I
do.
was gonna mention that because he does that several times. It's sort of
Mhm.
like a trick he uses, and I've always loved it. Like with the stark white background, and then like they're not exactly silhouettes,
I
but
wonder.
like
I wonder though if is that a Rob decision, or is that the colorist not wanting to color something that
like a
tiny?
background.
I just wonder. I could be wrong. I mean, like they've colored smaller stuff, like so. But it's just interesting. Is that a Rob choice or is that a colorist choice? I'd be kind of curious to find out.
Oh, I do want to mention that punch up there is very much, I think, an homage to Sal Buscema, who does that image
Talking about
in a
this?
lot of his stuff. No, the one right above it. No, turn the page again.
Oh yeah. Okay, the next page.
That
Yes,
yeah. You know exactly what I'm
I
talking
know what
about.
you're talking about. Yeah, buildings on fire and they make their escape. So this one kind of ends on a cliffhanger, but then it's going to be tied into Extinction Agenda.
Yes, because going forward, issue 95 is Extinction Agenda Part 2.
Kind of sucks that we're going to be jumping into a middle of a story that we're not reading, but I mean, I guess if you want, we could try to like bring up the other issue to like lead into it, but I don't think it's completely necessary. I think
I
just
don't think it's necessary. I have I have the single issues of New Mutants, but I also do have an Extinction Agenda trade, the one from the 90s as well. So I at least I could have that as reference, to like mention what is happening in the story when we talk about it.
for sure.
But I mean, Extinction Agenda in general to me was a real cool storyline, and I was so hyped for it when I was reading it. So
Yeah, this is just a great way to end the issue and lead into what we're going to be seeing forward. I love how it says too, your friends will be next on our agenda, and the storyline is called Extinction Agenda.
it's great, man.
Yeah, another great issue. Love doing these, going back, looking at these comics, because this is my childhood right here. And make sure you check out our other episodes going through this, the Liefeld playlist. Follow us on social media. Links are down below. Hit the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new vid goes up. And on that note, we're out.